Okay, so let's start with the next session. That's about knowing more about cord cutting and karmic cord cutting, especially, and how cords are formed, what are the different kinds of cord. Now, let's first start understanding karmic bond. Now, when we are born in a family where we have lot of toxicity, you will understand that it is nothing but karmic bond, and you need to cut cord with each of the family member with whom you have the toxic pattern. Now, when we are born, the soul contracts are formed. Now, with your spouse, soul contracts were formed. With your parent, with your children, your soul contracts were formed before you have taken birth in this planet. Now, when this soul contract becomes very negative, very toxic, that's where you need to do cord cutting. You will see that some parents, there are two children in a family. Okay. One child has an amazing relationship with the mother, but the other child do not have good relationship with the mother. So that relationship where the child is not having great relationship with the mother is the toxic relationship wherein she need to do cord cutting with the other child with whom the relationship is not good. Now, why does this happen? Maybe in one lifetime they shared very toxic bond, or maybe this daughter was somehow hurt by the mother during that lifetime, which she is not aware of as of now. But later on, when she start uh, like living that life after their death to the new life, they made this soul contract that तुमने मेरे ऊपर जो अत्याचार किया है, I'm going to do that with you. So this is what the karmic bond is, and this is how the soul contracts are formed. Now, which are the relationship wherein we can see the karmic bonds are there? Family, partner, recurring toxic pattern, kids and congenital issues born with challenges and karmic lesson. Now, you will see people who are autistic, they definitely have some karmic karmas to pay off. So, in that case, also, people can start practicing cord cutting and they will see amazing result. I have one friend of mine whose son was autistic. She has her own center for autistic child and all. Like she takes care of them, daycare she has. Uh, so she did cord cutting and her son simply transformed. Even though he's autistic, but the way he used to behave has completely changed, completely transformed. He has started behaving so good with his mother. Now, karmic bond are deeper than everyday emotional cords. As I told you in the previous session, that some cords are connected, are formed, and some cords are karmic cords. Now, karmic cords are deeper than everyday's emotional cord. They're rooted in unresolved pattern. You will see similar kind of pattern happening with husband. There's always a fight with spouse. There's always a fight. Unsolved pattern promises lesson carried from past lifetime or ancestral line. Okay, so जो भी है हम पहले के कर्मा से लेके आए हैं. Now the karmas that we are doing in this life, what is going to happen? If you are not going to get the result in this life, we are definitely going to get in our upcoming life. Now many of you would have this question कि भी कर्मा किया है उसको तो हमें भोग करना ही पड़ेगा. We will have to suffer and all. The moment you realize that enough is enough, I have suffered a lot, now it's time to cut my karma, that's where you start releasing your karma. Now, whatever karmas you have done, you're done. But in this life, you have started doing new karma, started adding new karmas. तो आप जैसे जैसे अच्छा कर्म करते जाते हो, वैसे वैसे ही आपके सामने से door starts getting open. That's where you see, okay, new roads are being formed, and that's where you come in contact with karmic cord cutting. Okay, this is exactly what happens when you learn karmic cord cutting. You're going to cut all the karmas. Now, many people would say कि karma ऐसे कैसे cut होता है? Yes, with the help of These signs and symbols, you can cut this karma, come out of it, and have a healthy relationship. Now, how these karmic cords feel? They feel heavy or binding. Hamesha there will be a disturbance, Hamesha there will be a stress, Hamesha there will be something in your head. Difficult to release. You cannot let go of some people, even if you feel I want to let go, but you cannot. Recurring patterns and wound. These are some of the symptoms of karmic cord cutting. Some examples: repeating toxic relationship cycle, feeling responsible for others' emotion, fear or guilt without clear cause. Just like that, you are feeling guilty for your child, you have not done anything wrong, still you feel that I am not doing enough for my kid. That can be a symptom of karmic cord. Unexplained draining connections. Now, with a friend also, you might have karmic cord who comes and teaches you lesson, doesn't behave well with you, or sometimes they will be love bombing, and sometimes they're very cold, and you are always hurt. So these are some of the understanding or some of the example through which you can understand whether these are karmic cords or not. Karmic cord exists to teach a lesson, close a soul contract, or heal an old wound. Now, you might ask कि इस life में if I do the karmic cord cutting, is it going to happen that next life में हमें मिले? No. Then and there it is going to stop. अभी आपने karmic cord cutting practice किया, you started implementing it, you started practicing it, because the symbols have power of so many mantras. It is going to cut then and there, and you are going to open a fresh book of karma. How karmic cord effective? Emotional exhaustion, repeating patterns, magnetic pull, drawn to harmful people or situation, and block growth. Why this is a must? Because if you do not do cord cutting with symbols or without symbols, because without symbols it is not that effective. It works to help you to come out of that aura, but for longer period, especially for karmic cord cutting, it is 110% important, because if you do not do that, it blocks you from growth. The kind of support you should get from your parent, the kind of support you should get from your bosses or from your friends, you do not get it. That is what happens when your uh, karmic lessons are pending and when you are not fully out of that karma. Why cord cutting is a must? It's a fastest and most permanent way of healing. When you are customizing it, you are actually going to get relieved from cord cutting. So we will understand more in details in the next session.